we are grateful for that. Thank you, sir.
Good evening. How you doing, everybody? How you feeling? Welcome. Thank you so much for coming out. Welcome to Dinkelspiel Auditorium. Welcome to Stanford University. Welcome to the Stanford Jazz Festival. My name is Stephen Lugener. I am the Director of Programming here at Stanford Jazz Workshop. We're so happy to have you here tonight. We are in the middle of our Jazz Camp Week 1 program. We've got about 225 Jazz Camp students in residence with us. Yeah, it's incredible. Next week, we're going to welcome another 226. The following week, another 183. I think all said and done, we're going to have just around 700 students come through the workshop this summer. It has been a great summer, a great kickoff to the festival. We're really excited about the lineup, the remaining lineup that we've got going on. There is a concert every single night of the week until July 31st. And if you're curious to learn more, check us out at stanfordjazz.org. If you're curious to hear our students, they're going to be doing their own showcase on Friday, sort of spread out between all this auditorium, Campbell Recital Hall, our outdoor stage. Is going to be a blast. So we hope to have you back here on campus. And it's a great summer, and we're just feeling the positive vibes. Speaking of positive vibes, I think that is a great description that just encapsulates the energy that is Victor Lin. I always enjoy emceeing and introducing the show because my connection to Victor is quite personal. I came to the workshop as a high school student, and my very first time at the workshop, Victor was my combo director. And this summer, I actually had proof of that. I actually showed a photo of myself at age 14 or 15 to the students at Jazz Camp to prove it to them, and they seemed unamused. I was trying to prove it like I was a jazz camper just like you, and the reaction was lackluster. I'll have to figure out a better way to deliver that. But Victor, that first combo experience really instilled a love of the music in me and the combo, and I must say that first experience was maybe this pivotal moment of my life where I decided, you know what, I really want to pursue this at the highest level that I can. And he has such a positive impact on the workshop. He is a staple of this community, and he revealed at our faculty meeting that this summer is his 29th year, which is crazy. So we're so happy to have him back here at the workshop doing the music of one of the greatest of all time, Gershwin. And he's got an incredible band tonight. We think you'll really enjoy it and feel inspired after the show. So without further ado, let's give a warm Stanford Jazz welcome to Victor Lin.
In any event, thank you so much. Welcome to Gershwin Reimagined. My name is Victor Lynn. I will be your flight host for the evening because it is a United Airlines theme of Black, Blue, Blue. Hold on to your seats. Please put your seats in the full upright position. You know, the rest. I would like to say thank you again to Mr. Stephen Lugner, Cory Cox, for the entire staff here at the Stanford Jazz Workshop for all the work they do year in, year out. It is an amazing time to be a jazz musician. It's an amazing time to be a human being. But it is most of all an amazing time just to be in this room sharing it with you. So if I look like I'm really excited and happy, it's because I am. And thank you very much. And, so I just really quickly wanted to say hi to my wife who might be watching. She's probably asleep. She's in New York. I just wanted to make sure that she gets this. Hey, what's up, Jen? Thank you for taking care of the kids while I'm away. And Daddy, where's Daddy? Daddy's doing a Gershwin concert 3,000 miles away. That's cool. And so the miracles of technology founded right here. I can still say hi. So thank you again. Thanks to my wife for letting me come out here for a week and do what I've been doing here for 29 years. So Gershwin Reimagined. I want to try to keep this as succinct as possible and not in teacher mode. Not teacher mode, just entertain. Okay, good. So George Gershwin is an amazing composer, and he's really kind of associated with, unfortunately, United Airlines, but also, really, if you actually look at it, Gershwin occupies this really unique intersection and Venn diagram of a lot of things. He was a Tin Pan Alley composer. He was actually a high school dropout. His parents fled Russia. He was a Russian Jewish immigrant, came over, and he was born in 1900 in New York City. And he wound up becoming perhaps the most famous American composer of all time, but his original name was Jacob Gershwin, right? He becomes George Gershwin, right? And he becomes this incredible composer by never conforming to what society expected him to do. He started out being an amazing Tin Pan Alley composer, which is what, after I played a little bit of Rhapsody in Blue, I played as many like 4 or 5 Gershwin tunes I could string together in a row, just referencing that because I could have done that for the next 30 minutes and not run out of material. But from there we segued into Fascinating Rhythm, which came from, I believe, I'm totally getting this mixed up. It's either Lady Be Good or it is from Lady. It is Lady Be Good. And it actually served as an amazing dance number for this brother and sister duo named Fred and Adele Astaire. Which actually launched their careers as well. So there's this whole ecosystem of music history that's around the career of George Gershwin that's absolutely astounding if you really dig into it, because 1920s, 1930s America is a very volatile place, both creatively and politically, right? So even though it's great music, it serves as this amazing entry point to understand the world around us. And so accompanying me on this journey are 2 of the most amazing young musicians and incredible young men that I know. Yes, they are young. I'm always going to refer to them as young. So please give it up on bass. From right around the corner here in San Jose, the amazing Mr. Nick Panoutsos is going to join on this tonight. And holding it down there, rescuing me from every single rhythmic miscue, because I will make a lot tonight, but that's okay because he's here to take care of me. From Houston, Texas, one of the most amazing drummers I know, Mr. Cory Cox. So we are literally going to blitz through a little, kind of just like a buffet line of Gershwin-esque stuff with some factoids I hope you enjoyed. The next thing we're going to do is our take on It Ain't Necessarily So, which comes from his opera Porgy and Bess. We are going to take some liberties with it. So, here we go. Make Panoutsos out like this. It's amazing. That's amazing. All right. Next, we're going to actually do one of my favorite tunes. When I was young, some would say that I have never changed. When I was younger, when I was actually in my first, the first couple of like kind of editions of listening to jazz, one of the first things that really, really drew me to jazz was the excitement of it, and like just the straight, like big band swing was a real big thing for me. And the Count Basie Orchestra has this record, and I used to check out CDs that get mailed to me from the public library. Wow, I'm really dating myself, right? You know, the King County Public Library. I remember I would just look up jazz, and then I would just say, I don't know what it is, just send it to me. I would go to the mailbox, open it up, and this package would, I'd open it up. I had no idea who Count Basie was. I didn't know who any of these people. I just knew, wow, this stuff sounds great. And one of the tracks on there was this arrangement of a tune called "Strike Up the Band," right? And I'm like, wow, "Strike Up the Band" sounds amazing. It's like, yeah, it's like this super happy tune, and it's really amazing. Yay, yay, yeah, super patriotic, right? And so then I did some research on it, and it turns out it's from a musical called "Strike Up the Band," and the whole thing is a giant satire and it's super anti-war. It's actually completely against the. It's totally not. It's like kind of like this subversive sort of thing that makes fun of this fictional president who decides to start a war over chocolate. All right, and whoa, okay. So this is kind of like holding this interesting sort of like this contrast between this super happy music and the actual intention behind it. It made me even more like respectful and also curious about Gershwin's work. So to sort of like put that stuff together, I tried to find something that reflected a little bit of that kind of tension of the anti-war, while still keeping the spirit of both Count Basie and, I love things like the Oscar Peterson Trio. So I decided to slap together a theme from Gershwin's Concerto in F, and we're going to go into a little trio version of "Strike Up the Band." And so hold on to your hats. I'll see you on the other side of this. All right, here we go. combo that I coached a couple years ago, right? And then Cory, you weren't, but you were actually a mentor fellow one time I was kind of helping to run it too, right? So one of the beautiful things about a community as opposed to just like playing a concert is there's a continuity that where you can see the relationships between the people. And one of the things that I've really started to emphasize for the students, especially around here, is how important the way you treat the people around you is. You don't really remember the kind of the notes you played or who played a really good solo, but you really remember when someone looks out for you. You really remember when someone takes care of you. And you definitely remember when someone lifts you up. And that's what I've always tried to do. And so one of the things I've been able to do as I've gotten older, I just turned 52 last week. Okay? I'm closing in on my ARP registration, Social Security coming closer. But anyways, so in any event, one of the things I've really started looking at is, when I hear something, when I was younger, I always used to wonder, oh, I hope somebody notices me, right? That's what a lot of you, a lot of kids, a lot of people out there, like, oh man, I just wish someone would ask me to do something, because it's very hard to go up and say, hey, can I do something for you, right? We're so busy waiting for someone to ask us to do stuff, and I realized that if you have that power to ask somebody to do something, a lot of amazing things can happen. You got to be vulnerable, but you got to let that thing happen. So 2 years ago, remember, I'm in the storage room, and there's this kid working there, right? And he's just giving me, folders and stuff. And he's really nice, and I'm like, hey, where are you from? Blah blah blah. And I go, are you a musician? And he's like, yeah. Well, he's like, yeah, I sing. He's like, you do? I said, let's do a tune. And he's like, right now in the storage room? He's like, yes, right here. That's me. So yeah. So if you know me, this is the kind of thing I want to do. Because I was like, listen, absolutely, I want to hear you sing. In fact, I'm one of the world's greatest accompanists, so I want to make you sound good. So hey, do a song with me. So so I kind of got him to do it, filmed it, posted it. His friends were like, oh my goodness, you're so it's so great to see you sing. He was like, still a little embarrassed, but I was like, this kid is gonna be great. Last year, I tried to get him. I said, listen, can we do a tune? And he was busy doing the projection stuff, and he's like, okay, I was only here for 1 week. This year, same deal. I was like, hey, can we do a tune this year? I said, no, man, I'm working during the day. I said, well, I have a solution. Are you free on Wednesday night? Ladies and gentlemen, from San Mateo right around the corner, please give it up for Mr. Joe Gloss. One of my favorite tunes that Gershwin wrote is this really kind of aching ballad, and I never knew the words. I never knew the words to it. I actually heard this first as an arrangement done by Benny Green, and I loved the melody and I learned it. And then when I actually heard the lyrics to it, I was like, oh my goodness, this is such a great merger, a genius of an Ira Gershwin and when your brother writes incredible lyrics and so this pairing, this actually comes from Strike Up the Band. So Strike Up the Band was the point in this first edition in 1927 was a little bit too biting and scathing, a war with a fake war over cheese. They had to go back to the drawing board, and so they rewrote it in like 1930, made it more lighthearted, made the world chocolate, and it became kind of a hit. And they added this ballad to it, and this ballad is called Soon. It's absolutely wonderful, and I remember I was like, I gotta have Joe sing this. So I'm asking Joe to just sing this beautiful, heartfelt ballad called Soon by George Gershwin.
The lonely nights will be ended. as ours will be blended. I've found the happiness I've waited for, the only one that I was fated for. Oh, soon a lovely cottage will find us safe, with all our cares far behind us. The day you're mine, this world will be into. Let's make that day come soon. Soon, our little ship will come sailing home through every storm, never failing. The day you're mine, this world will be into. Let's make that day. Let's make that day. Oh, let's make that day come soon.
So I asked Joe if he'd stay up one more and just sing. We're very familiar Gershwin tune. You guys, you'll know exactly what this is.
It's very clear our love is here to stay, not for a year, but ever and a day. The radio and the telephone and the movies that we know may just be passing fancy, and in time they go. Oh, but oh my dear, our love is here to stay. Together we're going a long, long way. In time the Rockies may crumble, Gibraltar may tumble. They're only made of clay, but our love is here to stay. May just be passing fancies, and in time may go. Oh, but oh, my dear, our love, yes, our love is here to stay. Together we will travel a long, long way. In time the Rockies may crumble, crypto may tumble, they're only made of clay. Guess what? Our love is here. Our love is here. Our love is here to stay. By the way I snore.
Cory Cox on the drums. Panoutsos on the bass. For this next act, I just realized my violin's in a bad place. Hold on. Okay, I'm just... So, those of you who have been here for quite some time know that I have somewhat of a reputation for being disorganized. I mean, not slightly off the cuff and not typical in the way that concerts come together, sort of kind of like not as if they were improvised, which is really cool. Here we go. And I can trace all that back to one particular incident that happened about 15 or 16 years ago. Those of you who have come to concerts of mine over the years have seen some wild, death-defying aerobatics, acrobatics, some music sometimes, some acoustical nightmares and some acoustical things that are quite unusual, but all of it started because about 15 years ago, I had the idea during this faculty meeting, like, hey, we're going to do this duos and trios concert. Anybody want to do a duo or a trio? Anybody? And I was like, yeah, actually, sure, you know, and I was looking around, and there was this other piano player that was there, it was great, and I was like, hey, do you want to do a two-person on one piano thing? I just think it may be kind of fun, right? And, you know, this pianist was like, okay, sounds great. And so that pianist is actually here tonight because he's one of the world's greatest piano players and one of the most amazing human beings on the face of the planet. He's been playing with, he played with the Heath Brothers, he plays with a number of incredible, Charles McPherson, a lot of jazz legends. He's a walking encyclopedia of jazz piano. He's also incredibly funny and incredibly charming and incredibly kind. Please welcome to the stage, Mr. Jeb Patton. Now, Mr. Patton and I are going to try to not recreate, but put the sequel to our first time playing two people at one piano. And since Jeb has a record actually out called Preludes, which he actually, which is now available on streaming. And these are all preludes that you compose that have some jazz. And so we figured it might be a great way to play one of George Gershwin's preludes. He wrote 3 preludes for piano, and one of them is pretty much an outright blues. And we're going to take a little bit of liberty with that and then play something else that's kind of familiar. We haven't quite run through this yet, but what else is new? So this is Jeb Patton and Victor Lynn attempting a 4-handed not really sight reading, but kind of sight reading, Gershwin's Piano Prelude Number 2. sometimes gets missed when you look at like notes. Notes don't look really fun, right? You know, by themselves, kind of sitting there. So it's up to us to kind of bring them up, just kind of like pew, kind of like water balloons and like lobbing at people. That's what I like to think of these things as. Okay. All right. So, right, yeah. All right. Cool. Next, I've been playing a lot of piano, and so one of the things that, so you saw me put that little bass down next to his older cousin. It's kind of like you see, we went on a dolphin watching trip recently, and there's these baby dolphins with their mama dolphins, so I'm like, I kind of want to see those instruments jumping out of the water. That's if you've eaten some weird mushrooms or something. So, anyways, I'm going to now call out two more individuals who I've just been so blown away by over the years. This first gentleman is an amazing, amazing trumpet player. And I've always wanted to play something with him. And kind of like with Joe, all of our schedules get really kind of like put together. Like all the schedules get really crammed. And so we don't really have a whole lot of time to do these things. But again, it's one of those things where it's like going, hey, what are you doing Wednesday night? And he said, I'm free. Cool. All right. So he's from Berkeley, right? From Berkeley, California? Sacramento. Oh, trad jazz capital. So on trumpet coming out here, give it up for Mr. Andrew Stevens. To join this little trad parade, so Andrew is a phenomenal trumpet player, but he really specializes in what's considered trad jazz, traditional jazz. There's actually a really big trad jazz scene in Sacramento, too, right? Historically, there's always been. And so when you hear him play, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But in order to have this, one violin and one trumpet, it's a little unfair. So I need to stack the deck in my favor. So I need to know if there's another violin player that can do the same sort of thing. Well, luckily, I happen to know somebody, and usually by day, it's kind of like a superhero transformation. But this guy, is making things run with the spreadsheets, like he's taking care of all this office stuff, and then he throws his cape on and shreds on the violin. He's based out of New Orleans, but he's really a local kid. I've seen him as a kid, but he's an amazing young artist, an incredible violinist. You've probably seen him on the stage now and then, but every time we've been on this stage together, it's been because of some sort of string sort of nonsense or some craziness that I want to get together. And once again, he said, but of course I'll do it with you. Please give it up for Mr. Michael Z on violin. We are going to do one of the most played tunes in trad jazz, and it's a Gershwin tune, and we're actually going to bring it right to you. This is Lady Be Good. much for being such an amazing audience. We have 3 members. Yeah, thanks for being a great audience. It's all good. I love it. Thank you. That's great. Anyways, so I'm very excited to bring out. I'd like to bring out the rhythm section again. Cory Cox and Nick Panoutsos. And give them an applause. This next thing I'm going to do is something that I've always dreamed about doing. I just didn't know that I actually could. And so Gershwin is not only famous for writing all this pop stuff, really. He's also known as kind of like the guy who really pushed the boundary as far as what classical music could be, right? Serious composers, right? Kind of like poo-pooed him as being too pop, right? Pop people were like, why do you want to be part of classical, right? So he was really in this interesting diagram where, I don't know, if you just listen to the music, it makes so much sense. And one of the pieces that he wrote was this amazing tone poem called An American in Paris. And this work is an incredibly important piece of music in my life because right around the time in the Stone Age when I grew up, where I had this little thing called a cassette player. I stole a cassette from my brother, which was this great performances of Leonard Bernstein conducting the New York Phil. On one side it was Rhapsody in Blue, but on the other side was him conducting An American in Paris. And something about that piece just galvanized me at age 13, 14. It's about 15 minutes long. I put that thing in my tape. I listened to that thing about, must have been 200 or 300 times because I listened to it every day on my way to high school. And that became kind of like the baseline for how I heard a lot of music, was through the lens of George Gershwin's An American in Paris. Now, cut to 20, 30 years later, right, and I'm looking for Gershwin Reimagined, and it's right in front of me, right? This very core thing where I could listen to it in my head, because I'd heard it so much. I used to hear it in my head as I swam the 800, just to keep track of the pool nights, right? I would have that playing in my head. And so here, I would like to present just a small snippet of it, but rearranged for a jazz quintet. It's literally just a 40-second section of it. It should show you like the treasure trove of material for a jazz arrangement, or just jazz in general, that you can find within an orchestrated piece like An American in Paris. And there is a trumpet part. And this is the other part that is so meaningful to me. This next guy I'm about to bring out I've known him here at the Stanford Jazz Workshop. I think he's been here just about the same amount of time as I have, right? About 20 some odd years, and he totally botched the entrance, but that's okay. Just pretend that he didn't come out, that you're just waiting in anticipation for this handsome man to appear, and there's this big build-up, okay? So, there you go, all right. And anyways, thanks for ruining it. Anyway, so, in any event, so me and this guy, right, I remember 20 years, this guy, 20 years ago, I have a vivid memory of this. He and I sat across the way on one of those stone things, as young musicians, and I looked over at Dink, and I was like, do you think we'll ever get to play that stage one day? That was 20 years ago, right? And I remember we were just kind of laughing about it, like, I don't know if that's ever going to happen, right? Well, it only took 20 years, but we're finally able to meet on the stage at the same time. Give it up, Mr. David Hart. So this is, we're trying a little something different. This is the section of An American in Paris it's called Tempo Blues. It's an andante, and it's just going to feature Michael and David. And this is a tiny section of An American in Paris. You guys can stay out here. You guys can stay out. No, hey, no, go ahead. I don't want to call you back or so. So, I just want to say, we have basically one more thing to play for you guys tonight. I wanted to say a special thank you to somebody who has really, really changed the course of my life, and he is, he changes it like every year, whether he knows it or not. I look up to him immensely, and I know I can imagine what he has gone through. I share in his hopes. He has been a guidance to me and a very steadying hand, and really kind of the whole reason that this workshop exists. And he's sitting right here. Please give it up for Mr. Jim Nadell here. The music covers a lot of what we experience, and a big reason why you see me doing all these things, to model community and fun, and inclusiveness, is because there isn't a lot of it out there. And it was very hard for me to understand that maybe what I do is unique and needs to keep on being up there. I question myself every day as an artist, as a parent, as a leader. I didn't see anyone who looked like me playing jazz when I was growing up, and when I first started here, I didn't see anybody in the student base who looked like me. That's real different now. But, just when we play, we're sharing the deepest parts of us. And I want to just thank you for all these years, for so many of you who are over here. I see so many people, and I can't say hi to everybody, but I'm making eye contact with all of you that I've seen and I've known. I want to say thank you because I know it's not just about us playing. It's about everybody in this room being here together. And that fact is not lost on me. And I think as I've gotten older, I've grown to appreciate that it's not really about, who played the greatest solo or who sold the most tickets or who got their name on anything. It's just sharing time together and being in the room together and just being here for the moment while it lasts. And I'm so honored to be able to take you through a little tiny bit of my Gershwin experience and sharing a little bit about my world. So the last thing I want to share with you is, as you read the program, I saw Porgy and Bess at the Metropolitan Opera, and it just reignited all this stuff. Remember that stuff I talked to you about, hearing An American in Paris in high school? All that stuff is all over Porgy and Bess. And I watched 3.5 hours of a swarm of black excellence on one of the most, elite stages in New York City, right? And there was a moment where they sang, where the tenor, or the guy playing Porgy sang, "Bess, you is my woman now." And I just lost it. I just like, wow. And, it's like it touched something. It was something that transcended, being able to talk about it or experience everything. There's just that longing and all that thing that music can do. And Gershwin is such a master at pulling all that stuff out of it. So the last thing I want to share with you is 2 things from Porgy and Bess. They're sandwiched together. It's going to start with Bess, you is my woman now. I don't have a chart. I may not even play it right. I'm just going to play what I remember. And it will end with us all playing kind of a loose rendition of the finale. Again, what I remember, called Lord, I'm on my way. And so, okay. One night only, right? Okay, here we go. Mr. Andrew Seaman. On the violin, Mr. Michael Z.